Hey, this is Magnar and welcome back to my modding tutorial series for Rome 2 Total War. In this episode I'm going to show you a few different tricks, tools that are included in both Assembly Kit and the Pack File Manager, which could make your modding life a little bit easier. There's some really cool tools in there that not everyone uses. Well, a lot of people don't use, even some of the bigger modders. Mod teams probably don't use some of these, but they're there, and yeah, you should check them out. They may come in handy for you. So I'm going to talk about the first one. It will be with Assembly Kit. I've got a few there that I'm going to just walk you through. Things that you can do. And let's just pick any random table. Actually, let's just go main units. If you don't know, you can filter the table launcher here to get the one that you want. I'm going to use main units in both PFM and in Assembly Kit. Now what we can do here is, first thing is the filters. So we've got the filters here. You click the plus button. You can get multiple filters, which we'll do in a sec. So first, we pick the column that we want to go to. So let's say we want to go to weight. Let's pick that. And we want to get... So we've got, then we've got three different things here we can use. Fixed string, of course, being an exact string. Let's click in there. Medium brings up medium. If we do that, we can do that same thing in every single one, and it's fine. If we go to wildcard, though, with wildcard we can do something a little bit different. We can use the asterisk character to look up things like this. So let's look up everything with the word with the letter L and ending and then something in between and then T. So let's go there. And you can see here very light because it has L and then something T. We can do that in let's do it and do another example with the unit column here. Already done it. So L something T, so you've got LFT there, LISTA, so there's in that one. So you can do those kind of things when you're filtering and searching. Then you can of course have multiple filters, so you can look for that letter combination, or you can, and then within that letter combination you can look at weight, for instance, say medium. You don't have to put the whole word, just put medium, ME or M. It's all the same, and then it gives you all the medium weighted units within which have the unit name with an L, some letter T. So that can come in handy with just filtering out what you're looking for within these tables to find values and such. Of course, you can then untick the enabled here. So if we go not enabled, it doesn't do it. So you can just have all these filters there, and then you just kind of go, yep, nope. You can also do the not tick over here, which will do everything except the weights with an M in it, for instance. So that's an exclusion filter. And you can also do it with a wildcard there as well. So M something M. And exactly the same. But what if we do medium? We do something T, and then you see all the medium comes back again. Okay, so that's filters and some things you can do with filters if you aren't already familiar with them. Now, the next thing that I use quite a lot is global search. You go up to extra tasks, global search, and in this field here, you can see here it also supports the wildcard asterisk. You can type in anything, so we can say auto resolve. Again, you've got case sensitivity, which means if it has to match it exactly. If you put capital A, then there'll be a capital A. If you tick case sensitive and exact match is exact match. It has anything that has exactly that value. So let's do a search, and you can see it brings up a whole bunch of values. This is quite a common word in the database. So this is all within all the text, so your localization files, and within your database files, it finds you all the existence of the word auto resolve and all the different entries. So you can see in achievements that has this many mentions of the word auto resolve, and you can see that there they've got the key, which will be the column that you're looking in. sorry, here's it'll be in the key. Sorry, this is the column you're looking in. Then it's got the value of that column. So you can see auto resolve, auto resolve, auto resolve. Yep, great. If you get a common term like auto resolve, it'll ask you if you want to search for more than 50, if there are more than 50, and you can just click yes or no. So I'm not going to do it because that's just to prove a point. And the last one I'm going to show you in this tutorial is another very handy. So we'll go back to main units. Okay, another very handy thing I like to use. It's more about, this is more to do with how to figure out how stuff works in the database, how it's all linked together. Because all these tables, they're not just existing by themselves, and then they're all actually interlocked. They're interrelated. They reference values in different tables. So this column here, the show schema, is really handy for that because it tells you. So we look at here, the field name land units, which is, where is it? There it is. So land unit here. You can see the type of value that it expects. So whether it's an integer, a number, that's or text, a yes/no value, or like a tick box or something like that. An auto number being one of these unique numbers, which which are in a lot of different tables. Okay, so what we can look at here is we go all the way over to table relationship, and we see that the land unit field name, the land unit column, links to the table land units. It links to the column in that table called key. And there might be a little bit more information in these other ones, but there isn't for this table. And so by doing that, you can go, okay, how does this work? And you follow what that column requires to, say, land units. And then you can look in land units and go, okay, what does this read from? And you can look at all the different tables in there. So you've got a table called unit weights, a table called naval units. This table references unit cast, building levels, religions, etc., etc. So that's really cool. You just follow it. You follow these paths, and you can kind of figure out exactly what you need to have in your own mod if you're going to put custom values in these tables. So you want to make a custom unit. You reference it. So you'll have the main unit key, and then you can reference the land unit that you make custom, stuff like that. Okay, so that's the show schema button. And that's about it. Well, there's one other thing you can do, which is when you have start pos stuff. So I'm going to do start pos. Oh, I misspelled it. Start. Okay, so if we go start pos, let's pick factions. Now, if you're going to say edit PFM, edit the start pos through PFM, but you want to kind of get the values and everything you need from assembly kit. Assembly kit generally puts in the underlying values for most entries or lookup values. It changes. What you want to put into the PFM though is not exactly what is in here. For instance, you want to have in the underlying value. So the campaign will be main Rome. It would not be the lookup value. The lookup value just tells you grand campaign main Rome. Same here with these IDs. Oh wait, no, the ID is not going. Okay, here we go. So here you can see there's kind of other info in there. I guess this isn't a very good example of the table. Well, religion, for instance, Latin, Rome, that's not what we want. We want to have underlying. That is what we put into PFM. Okay, so that's enough of assembly kit. Let's get out of there. And we can jump into PFM. Now, in PFM, there are a few things here that a lot of people are not aware of. I'm going to jump into main units. I've created a little test pack. You don't really need to do this. This is just to show you how to do it. Now, one that I have been using a fair bit lately is called apply expression. This is good, say, if you want to change the number of men in a unit, for instance, rather than going and doing it manually. So going here, 320, 240. So you want to double it, or you go into Excel and you do some formulas there and then copy and paste it back, which you can do. Here's a much quicker way of doing it. You just right click on the column top, you go apply expression. Now you can use this on any number column, so here number of ships or whatever, and you essentially what you do is, now the big hint here is X. X is the value of the cell. So when we want to double the number of men in a unit using in this column, double the number of whatever is currently in this number men column, we will go X, being the new column, the new value, X equals X, the current value, times, which would be the asterisk, and then 2. So we've done that for the whole column because we've right-clicked on the top of the on the column header, and we go apply expression, and there we go. That's all done. You can hover over these pink values, or they're red, depending whatever, I guess, what your color settings are. If you hover over, you can see the original value there. So original value 120, new value 240. You can do a lot more than just that, though. So let's do another expression. Let's firstly revert it back. We can go, the new cell value will equal the change cell value. So this is what we've changed it to. So now it's referencing whatever it's been changed to, divided by 2. And so now we can just put them back. And they're all back to normal. White means they're exactly the same as they were. But what you can also do, this is not really something I plan to show, but you can go revert cell to original value, and you can do that whole chain of things. So if we go, I'm sure you guys already know about this, but you can select the whole range and go revert to original value, and it goes back. Okay, so what else you can also do in this regular expression? You can do more complex stuff as well. You can put in like an if function, for instance. So let's just, and you can also do it based on selected ranges. You don't have to do it on the whole column. You can do, say, for this one, let's pick the ranges here, like that. And we're going to say if the value in the cell equals 12, so let's do that. Apply expression to selected cells, so right click. So let's do an if. So we're going to say if the value is 12, we're going to make it doubled. So let's go if, or you can say if it's less than 30. So with this function, you put 2 i's, then an f, so if, open brackets. Now this is what you're testing for. So if x, if the cell value is less than, you can use less than, say 30, comma. Now what comes after the first comma is what it is if it is less than 30, if it is, this is true. So if it's true, less than 30, then let's make it 10. Okay, so it'll make those cells 10. If it's not, you can make it whatever you want, or we can either make it x, which will just leave it as it is, or we can make it x times 2. So what this will do is, if the current value is less than 30, we're going to change that value from whatever it is, under 30 to 10, and if it is greater than 30 or 30, we're going to multiply it by 2. So let's apply expression, and you can see there 10, 10, and everything else has been doubled. So that's really handy to have, especially because when you increase unit sizes, there are certain tables and certain units that you don't increase the number of mounts for example. So if we doubled all the units, that is actually in land units. So let's do something else here now. So the next thing, when you do add something from another file or whatnot, if you add it from pack, you get it directly via that file directory. You don't have to create the folders, you don't have to add empty directory, all that kind of stuff. You just pick the file that you want or the folder that you want, and all the directories leading to it, all the path will be created in your pack automatically. So we can go db. Now for this, I'm going to show you land units. So right click there, or we can double click the actual file itself. I'll tell you it's added. Double click again if you want to remove it. Now it's removed. So let's get back to add. Okay, I'll just save that. Okay, so one of the unit types that you don't, so if we go, when we're doubling or increasing unit sizes, it's very important that the number of mounts equals the number of men. Otherwise, you'll have some mounts with more than one man on it, and it'll look like a Hindu god with multiple arms or with clipping multiple heads. But there are some units where you keep the number of mounts the same, and those units are generally chariots. So the chariots aren't going to have more than, say, well, they're not going to have more than 4 horses, but let's make it 6 just to be on the safe side. And elephants, they need to also increase. So let's go apply expression to the whole column. So we'll right click on the top where it says num mounts. And now we can type in that function if x is less than 6. We're going to get the current value of whatever. No, we leave it as is. So that's if it is less than 6, it means it's a chariot or something that doesn't need to be changed. So let's leave it as is. So we just keep x. If it is not a chariot, so it's got more than 6 in the number of mounts, we're going to double it. So to say we've doubled all our units. So x times 2. Okay, apply expression. You can see here this chariot still has the number of mounts as 2, because the number of mounts for chariots represents how many horses there are on each chariot, whereas this just represents the total number of horses in a unit. Okay, so apply expression, that's how you use it. There's a number of other different functions that you can use and that you can find them online via the Microsoft website or something like that. I'll put a link to the framework for that, where you can kind of go in and test some stuff out and try find some new ways of making your life easier. Now, there's another thing that you can do, which is a bit like apply expression, but it is instead for columns with text. So I'm going to copy this column here. So Control C, or you can, if you want to go the long way, which I don't really like to, right click and copy. Now let's select the whole column, and you're going to mass edit, and we're going to turn every single thing into medium. Bang. Or we can, let's just do it to a set value. You're going to turn them into heavy. So I've copied that, Control C, select the range, mass edit strings, heavy, done. Now doing it with the whole on the top of here, it's really handy for when you have a long table and it will take some time to kind of load the whole thing up. You can just, rather than scrolling all the way down, say you've got building levels tables or something, you can, instead of scrolling the whole way down and changing all the values, you can just right click and do the whole table like that. Now this also works with filtered values. So if we filter this, so let me just well, let's use another table column actually. Well, okay, now let's just do this. Okay, so I'm going to revert them all back to their original value, but I want to, I can select the whole column like that. So right click, select column. Again, I don't have to scroll down. Big tables, when you're going scrolling, they take up a bit of time to load that whole table. We may have 6,000 lines in there, so it takes a bit of time. So rather than doing that, I've just selected the value at the top, and I don't have to do all that scrolling. And then we can right click and revert cells to original value. Done. The other good thing about this is that you can do it on filtered. So I'm going to copy the heavy again, and I'm going to filter this whole top column. So we go click on the arrow, and let's turn it into super heavy. I'm going to turn all the super heavy into heavy. So here it is. So mass edit, heavy. Okay, and now I'm going to unfilter it. And you can see here, all the other values which aren't super heavy are unchanged, and only the ones which we've actually edited, there you go, you can see them there, have actually been changed. So this helps you get an exact list of what you want to edit, and then you can just do that mass edit or whatnot through that. There is another way of doing. I think this is fairly common knowledge, but if it's not, say you don't want to select the whole column, you just want to select from a certain point downwards or upwards. left or right. You can do that by holding Control and then pushing the arrow key. So for instance, if I want to go up, I can go up, and you'll see it will jump from the point where I was up to the top or to the bottom. See how it loads there? If it freezes it for a little half a second or something, that's the time that you can kind of get rid of. Now let's say I want to go from here and I want to actually select everything that is above that point. I can go Control plus Shift and then press the arrow key up or down. You can see that it's selected automatically there. When you go down, it usually selects the empty row here, so you'll have to take your finger off Control there, just hold Shift and press up, and you can just do it by one. You can keep going if you want, or you can push down, you can go left, you can go right. And that's how you can select different ranges fairly quickly. So I can go Control, Shift, and then to the left, and it selects all of them, and then I can go up. So it's got everything selected except that last line, which I didn't select. So that's just helpful ways to navigate through the PFM tables. Other ones here is you've got the move and freeze keys. This one, as you can see, this is the normal structure of the table. The unit key is here, and as you move around, it goes out of the window. If you click move and freeze keys, it freezes those the key or the multiple keys within that table to the left, and as you scroll you can keep it there always, so it's easier just to kind of see what line it's on. With these unique index values, PFM has another nice tool which is called renumber cells. Now you can do this with apply expression as well. But renumber cells is probably a bit easier. Renumber cells, you just right click the top of the column, you put in the starting number and you go OK. You could have done this with apply expression, and you just go apply expression, so you just turn that into 1. Well, let's turn it into 2 actually, and then we'll apply expression. And I'd have to, never mind. Well, I need another formula, but I'd have to test the exact format of it, so I'll leave that out for now. But anyway, that's how you can do your unique indexes all in one. Of course, you wouldn't use the value 2. You would use a much larger value, so let's go, say, number cells. You start at 100,000 because you don't want to overlap with CA cells. And there it is. And that is pretty much all the little tricks and hints and tools that are there to help you speed up the way that you mod and make things a little bit easier for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.